We're looking at a curvy Italian import in this episode of the Gear Guide. The Real Steel ARX 160 was introduced in 2008 as part of Italian Army's Future Soldier program, and of course it was only a matter of time before it made its way to the airsoft world. Well, in 2014, Elite Force stepped up to the plate and used their Beretta license to create two versions of this rifle, a competition and then the Elite version, which is the top tier version we're looking at today. Available in both black and tan like you see here and produced by S&T, the ARX 160 sports identical features to the Real Steel one and follows the same form over function design of the original rifle. Now, some may say this thing looks like a reinforced polymer laser gun or something like that, but the concept here was to build a fully ergonomic and functional ambidextrous rifle that favored the operator's comfort first. So looking at the controls on this rifle, you get a short travel fire selector that moves in little 45-degree clicks like you can hear here, and then is also a real easily reachable magazine release on both sides, the left and the right, where so no matter what hand you're shooting with, you can get that mag out fast. And you've got a bolt cover that locks back and it flips through to both sides so you can access the wheel hop up and you can reach it from the left and the right hand side. So this really is a fully ambi rifle. And to get the bolt cover to go back forward once it's locked back, you press the button here that's actually part of the trigger guard up and it locks forward. Now at first it really didn't make sense why they put it there on the real one, but once you do a mag change, it makes complete sense. So when you lock the magazine into place, your thumb is right there to hit that bolt catch so you can get back to firing without having to take your hands off the fire controls. So speaking of mags, the ARX 160 takes standard M4 magazines, just like the included high cap they give you. So you're gonna be able to use your favorite M4 mags without having to go search around for some crazy magazine platform for a new rifle. Now moving on to the back, you get a 4-position adjustable rear stock that slides to the back and then comes off to store the battery inside of the stock. And that's not the only trick, so once you get this back on, you also can fold the stock to the side to bring this thing down to a really tight CQB length so you can maneuver around the corners. And with a simple flip of this little switch here, you can access the quick change spring and the integrated wiring that goes in the hinge, which is a really great feature since you won't have that exposed wire that will actually bridge here and you'll end up getting pinched if you want to shoulder your rifle or tuck it in really tight doing CQB maneuvers. And since the wiring goes through the hinge, they also added these little quick detach wires here. So if you ever have to service it or get to the mech box and do any work, it's not a problem at all like you've seen on some other hinged polymer rifles out there. Now, moving across the top, you get 2 side rails here in the front and this huge elevated top rail to fit optics like you see here. You can put lasers in the front, you can do whatever you want to it, and you also get integrated flip up front and rear sights, which to be honest, aren't the greatest. They're just kind of there, they work, but I would definitely say you want to put an optic on this rifle. And another touch, I don't know if you can see it here, the distance between how low the stock is to where the rail is allows you to shoulder and get down on this rifle really easy, even when wearing a full face mask, which is a huge benefit if you're playing a lot of indoor CQB or you play at a field that requires full face protection. Now, the only place you really get a small amount of rail space is here at the bottom where you have this foregrip attached. And we were hoping that when you removed this hand grip here, which is really comfortable, fits your hand perfect, we would have extra rail space, but unfortunately not. It's a wider rail designed to fit the GLX 160 Beretta grenade launcher. So we're kind of hopeful that Elite Force is going to release a rail mod like we've seen in some of the CQB versions of this real gun, or if we're lucky, they'll come out with the GLX 160, so we'll have that great integrated grenade launcher feature we could add to this rifle. And the final trick to this AEG is the removable metal barrel. With the press of these little switches up front, the barrel literally comes right out. It is that easy, so you can clean it. If you get a jam, like you got some dirt in mixed in with your BBs and your high cap or whatever, and it jams up your barrel, you can get to this thing in a breeze. Oh, and some users have experienced some problems putting the barrel back in, like it won't lock, or there's wobble, and there's a real easy fix to that. Just make sure up here you have a 1/4 inch between this collar here where the actual swing swivel is and this little break in the barrel. So if you have that gap, you can tighten it down with a little Allen key and adjust it, then it will fit right back into this no problem and lock into place. And that's just a little pro tip if you run into that issue. Also, the swivel sling here is okay, but since it's just kind of free floating and the barrel free floats, I probably wouldn't plan on putting too much stress on it and depending on it for long-term use. Now taking this thing out to the range, we saw a really nice about 370 FPS with a 0.2 gram BB out of the box, which puts it on par with a skirmishable outdoor AEG. But remember, you can always drop a new spring in this thing in seconds if you want to tune it down to indoor limits, like if you have a 350 limit, or if you want a little more power and crank out 400, it is super easy to do. And with the included spring, the rate of fire was a really healthy, almost 19 on a fully charged 11-120C LiPo, which is gonna be great to put fire downrange to keep those heads down. And accuracy was also really good. We had no issues getting the extremely tight groupings at 75 feet using 0.28 gram BBs, and follow-up shots were really easy with no over-rotation of the mech box in semi-auto, and I think that's really part to the relay style trigger they put inside of this AEG. Overall, we quickly became a fan of this futuristic ARX 160, and there were so many things to like. The ergonomics, the performance, and the smooth tuned mech box make it a solid primary carbine that will definitely turn some heads on the field. Plus, when you add in the Elite Force 1-year elite warranty that comes with this $275 rifle really shines. So if you're in the market for a new polymer carbine, take a look at the Beretta ARX 160 Elite version, available in both black and tan like here, at your favorite local or online authorized Elite Force retailer. All right, guys, we want to know, what do you think of this ARX 160? Is it a little too crazy looking, kind of futuristic for you? I know we've heard some comments already, and I know we're going to get them down here below. So chime in and let us know what your thoughts are of the look and styling of this, and if you would pick one up if you had the chance. Also, are you a big fan of the polymer? I mean, we do like how light this rifle is, but we want to know, are you really more toward a metal body, or are polymer guns really the way of the future? So chime in again down there in the comment section below, and we want to hear what you were thinking of. And of course, if you have any questions you want to get on our question and answer show, hit us up right down there, and make sure to vote them up so I can see them, and they'll end up on our Q&A show. And again, as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for all of the updates. We'll see you next time on The Gear Guide.